Yeah.
This is Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Nice to meet you too.
She's been telling me all about you. So are you cool with coming around with us?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Stas's day job is as a website designer, but he's also started a non-profit called Chernihiv Wooden Lace, restoring traditional houses. In normal times, this work helps preserve the history of the region, but in wartime, preserving traditional homes like these takes on all sorts of additional meaning. And Stas's restoration projects have no shortage of people wanting to jump in and be a part of preserving culture here. Stas even gives tours through the city of the houses they've worked on, as well as some that they haven't. On top of all of this, he's also in the army.
You got conscripted February 24th, but did you have any military background?
No.
I didn't think so.
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah.
And which is not uncommon with so many people that got conscripted, I suppose.
Yeah, there was no other way to stop Russia.
Stas is stationed here in Chernihiv and fought during the Russian siege of the city.
And like Nata was saying, you had 2 friends that were killed.
4 out of 13 people.
Wow.
So four people were killed, 3 were injured, and only 6 people managed to get out of it without a scratch,
Really?
including me. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I got lucky.
And they were all, before this started, they were just doing whatever they did for their daily lives.
Yeah, they were just regular people, not related to military. I started working on this house last fall,
Yeah.
and I wanted to finish it this year,
Yeah.
regardless of the war.
So he used his days off from the military to finish the project.
People who walk by this house on a daily basis look at this and see that there's still, a beam of light and hope and some move forward. This is something that makes people smile. And since we're able to do this, then why not?
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is Ukraine.
This is Ukraine. This is northern Ukraine.
Yeah.
This is typical for the north of Chernihivska Oblast and the north of Sumska Oblast.
Yeah.
And the people who built these houses, they had style. They had a sense of
Yes,
aesthetics.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
every house owner wanted to be unique. He or she wanted to be different from his or her neighbors.
Yeah.
Basically, people were show-offs in a good way. Most of these houses belong to several owners. And this dates back to when the Soviets conquered these areas. So people who used to own this house were kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
And this house was divided between several other people who didn't have any connection to this property.
As a result, so many of these great old places fell into disrepair over the coming decades. Stas's restoration philosophy revolves around the idea that these homes are ever-evolving things.
Yeah, look at these colors. They are modern. They're contemporary.
They are.
It's an interesting observation of how people react to these kind of decisions, because obviously these colors are not typical.
No.
They are not historical. Honestly, I'm not a supporter of sort of, fighting for some historical appearance of whatever, because this color is something that helps you embed this piece of history into today's reality.
I love this idea of respecting culture and tradition, but part of that respect, in my mind, is letting it evolve and move into the future.
Yep.
So instead of making it a stagnant thing, and to me that respects it, and it keeps it progressing.
It mattered. Dobry день. So it mattered for me to put my hand on this house and bring it back to life. Plus, because it belongs to several owners as well, it used to be painted in all kinds of colors, and you clearly see that it belongs to different people who don't talk to one another when they when they decide to paint their.
I've seen houses like that.
Yeah. One of the important conditions of restoring this house when we talked to the owners was that we will collectively choose a color scheme which would work for everybody, and at the same time would paint the house as if it belongs to a single family.
Yeah.
So it looks uniform. I mainly think about passing this over to the next generation. It's something that we can put our hands on today, and then preserve and pass over to whoever comes next.
Yeah.
And this is how we pay respect to people who built this.
As our time up here in Chernihiv was coming to an end, we made our way back to Nata's house.
I've said it over and over again on this trip, but it's so incredible to see everybody, at least that we've run into at every level, just doing whatever they can do to pitch in and make a difference.
We have a very rough way
Yeah.
to our freedom, but it would be very deeply cherished.
We talked about hope earlier and the need for hope and the existence of hope
Yeah.
in Ukrainians.
And the hope is so big that it can't content in me. I can't contain it.
Contain it, yeah.
It's bigger than my mind.
Yeah.
But with the 11 p.m. curfew fast approaching, it's time to stop.
Треба їхати вже.
Time to go?
I think
Okay. We got a curfew to beat.
not to be stuck here.
Yeah, all right.